All right, you want to get this going a little bit?
Predictions time.
5 minutes at least.
Here we go. All right, so here's what we're doing. We're doing division winners, pennant for both sides, both leagues, World Series, AL, NL MVP, Cy Young, and worst team in baseball.
I like this.
Okay?
All right, so here's what I'd like to do, okay, just so we don't have this doesn't drag out for an hour. And we're going to have some guests coming in and might even stop by the shrimp. So we're going to break this up. Let's do the ALNL stuff, all right?
Okay.
The World Series even. But then we'll get to the individual awards later. Okay?
No problem.
Okay.
So let's do that.
I mean, for worst team, could we just say the Athletics and all just go move on with our lives?
I think the White Sox are going to be the worst.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
You guys both going with the A's?
Yeah,
I'm going with the A's all day. Yeah.
I know. I want to be a little different.
I hear you. Yeah.
But, and by the way, I think the White Sox are interesting here. What happened to the White Sox over these last couple of years? They were like right there and looked to be an ascending team. And last year was a disaster.
Tony La Russa.
In Chicago. So, and now they seriously are, I would think most people would peg them as like a bottom 3 team in all of baseball.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes.
Their over-under was like at 62 wins.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, that's embarrassing. That's why I think like the A's might be able to catch. I mean, the A's, to lose as many games as the A's lost, even with a bad team, is really hard. But they do have like a AAA team, so.
But then they like really make it like, okay, well, we got to do better this year. It's like, oh, what'd you really do?
Here's the thing about, the one thing I would say about the A's is nobody's paying attention to them.
Yeah.
In Chicago, even if you're the White Sox, and I know most people pay attention to the Cubs, you're still going to ridicule them every day and pay attention. You've got a little heat on you in Chicago.
True.
You got no heat on you right now if you're the A's, which means they can play free and easy.
But do you think they have some heat in terms of the Las Vegas rumors?
Well, I don't think it affects their baseball team at all. I think nobody's looking at the A's. Like, nobody. We're going to go to an A's game in June. There might be 6 people there. We're going to be 4 of them. Seriously.
Yeah, man. I know. I hear you.
And people are like, why are you going the A's? I'm like, well, because it's like the last time to go. It'd be our only chance to go get
Brad Pitt
really.
ain't walking through that door anytime soon, man. Help that team out.
All right, so go ahead, Austin. You got it?
I mean, should we just go one by one? So, like, I'll say my AL East team, then you go? Or
No, I think you run them down. It'll be quicker that way.
Okay, cool. So, in the AL East, go ahead and call it your Australian degenerate bet of the year. I'm taking the Toronto Blue Jays.
Woo! Oh, I like it right off the rip.
I'm taking the Toronto Blue Jays. I think they underachieved. I mean, I say underachieved. I think they did well last year and didn't have their supreme talent playing at a high level. I think that changes this year. Give me the Toronto Blue Jays. AL Central, I'll take the chalk here. I'll take the Twinkies. And then AL West, I'm also taking some chalk, and I am going to take the Astros.
All right.
Who do you got win the pennant?
I mean, do we have to wait? Don't we have to go?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Hamby.
You see what this is? This is Brent doing some last-minute homework before he makes
I already did my homework.
That's Mr. Martineau again?
I'm actually trying to tweet to get people engaged with us
Okay, here we go. I'm going to take...
Hey, basically saying, don't wait what I'm doing over here. I'm doing just fine. All right, Hamby, what do you got?
In the AL East, I'm going to take the Orioles.
Okay.
In the Central, I'll also take the Twins. And I have some interesting stuff that I have planned for the playoffs in the American League. But division-wise, I'm still going to take the Astros because pretty much 4 out of the 5 Rangers, what will be their starting rotation, is not available at the current moment. So that's why I did not take that.
All this chalk,
Rangers,
Brent. Oh, man.
But
sticks to your teeth.
We'll get there. We'll get to that in a second.
I am going to take, in the AL East, I'm going to take the Yankees.
Oh, Brent!
You're literally wearing a Red Sox
What are we doing on this show?
Are you serious?
Brent!
I'm trying to win here.
Okay.
While the Red Sox are not.
Yeah, okay. Man.
I'm going to take my fighting Rocco Baldellis and the Minnesota Twins. I really try to find a different winner there, but I just don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
And I am going to go different in the NL West. I think Texas is going to have a hangover. Although keep an eye on Wyatt Langford, former Florida Gator. He might be like Rookie of the Year candidate type stuff. And they've got a lot of young talent. But I'm also going to say the new manager in Houston will be a little bit of a tough, going from Dusty Baker to a new head honcho. And I'm going Seattle.
Ooh, I like that.
Seattle was right on the cusp last year.
That.
Remember, that was a tight race last year between those three.
I like
that. So I'll take Seattle.
I like that, Brent. Okay.
All right, so who you have in the AL pennant?
Give me the Blue Jays.
Wow.
rolling through the 6 with my woes, taking the Blue Jays. Shout out to Drake.
I have them
going through it
finishing
right now.
4th in their division.
Hey, that's fine, man. You just do you.
I love it.
That's interesting. So you have. I wonder who you would have. Like, do you have the Rays going to the wild card too, or you got teams out of the West in the wild card?
I have both of my 3 teams in the West and the Yankees as the wild card.
Yeah, interesting. You can go a lot of different ways.
For my AL pennant, I'm taking the Rangers,
Mhm.
who are going to get things done even though they don't win the division.
Yeah,
Careful now.
I've really thought long and hard about.
You just tweeted viewers are joining us live right now. Be careful.
I know. I actually think the Yankees are going to make a really good run this year. I'm concerned about the Orioles. I think Soto's going to have a monster year.
Short porch.
Monster year. And I know I'm not alone in that, by the way. I want to take the Orioles so bad. All right, I'll take the Orioles.
Hey. I love how we all just celebrate.
Gosh, I can't believe you guys should let my emotion of the Yankees.
Well, I mean, if I want to
front.
win, I would rather you have taken the Yankees.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they've gotten so many chances.
True.
I can't believe actually Boone is still there and Cashman's still there, and I think they are actually. I feel like that's going to pay off, and Soto is going to be a huge difference maker for them. This isn't just like an on base guy. This is an MVP. I mean, he's going to win He's better than. I think he's a better player than Judge.
Yeah.
And I love Judge. I think Judge. I actually, as a Yankee hater, I still love Judge. I think Judge is a cool athlete and an easy guy to root for. Okay, where are we going? NL?
NL East?
NL East. Go ahead, Austin.
What are we looking at here?
Oh, my gosh. You're not going to do it, are you?
Phillies.
Oh, my God. Please.
Why not? I mean, Phillies aren't bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have unfinished business. They kind of went out early.
Yeah,
to the dang Diamondbacks.
Top of that rotation's nasty.
Just broke my mic a little bit. That's okay. They'll hold it now. Next I have, the NL Central, Brent. Listen. All right. You see the T-shirt. How I feel about the organization right now. I don't care. They're gritty. They're going to find a way. They got a lot of young players coming up. Could have the Rookie of the Year. We'll see. Give me the Brewers.
Gritty doing the wiggy.
And then the West. I mean, listen, I got to chalk it up to the West. I got to go Dodgers.
Go ahead, Abby. Or I'll go if you want. Just
Yeah,
you don't think I'm cheating. I do like the Phillies, but I'm going to go with the Braves. Braves are loaded. And I'm going to go with the Reds. Just because this is going to be fun.
It's going to be the new Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. What it's going to be.
And I have to go with the Dodgers here. But I'm telling you, keep an eye on San Francisco. I just don't know how you can't go chalk with the Dodgers. They really do look loaded.
Damn it, Brent.
Same one for you?
I'm taking the Braves. I'm taking the Cubbies.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm taking the Giants to win the division.
Wow.
I was going to say chalk Mr. Chalkerson, but never mind.
Yeah, you're
The
not
Giants
going
make
to
an
trot.
appearance.
You're not going to trot Outman, Jason Hayward, and Lux out there every single night with the rotation that they got trotting out there also and win that division easy. It's going to be a lot closer than people think.
So who's your pennant?
Go ahead, Austin.
Sorry, Hamby.
Oh
Sorry, Hamby.
Well, you really think they're on the revenge tour?
I do. Yep. Go and give me
It's a good pick,
the
really.
Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies, Blue Jays, World Series. Book it. Brent?
I really want to pick the Orioles and the Reds,
Oh, my God.
Come on, man.
but I'm
All
not.
right.
I'm actually going to pick the Giants to come out of the wild card
Ooh. Okay.
and go against the Orioles.
Okay.
It is an even year after all, and if you go all the way back in the history of the San Francisco Giants,
Tim Kirchin numbers coming at
they've
you.
won 8 World Series,
Tim Kirchin numbers coming at you.
and
who are you
5
taking?
of them have come on even years.
Got the Giants.
So,
Tim Kirchin won the
in
Giants.
fact, the last 4 of them have come on even years. Please don't do the Kirchin voice again.
I'll do it all day.
You might not be
I'll do it
able
all
to talk
day.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll do it all day.
Yeah, I've got the Giants and the Orioles in the World Series.
All right,
All right,
I will
Hamby,
take the Braves
Bet you will.
over the Phillies, though. I have the Phillies still getting a run, going on a run. We meet again.
Oh, Dodgers don't even make the NLCS.
No. The Phillies, obviously, we've met up with them in the DS the last 2 years. We'll meet them in the CS this time, and we'll win it. And then we'll go to the World Series and win
Can
it.
you please never say that again? Because last time I checked, you ain't getting paid for that.
You don't affiliate with your team?
No.
Whatever.
He said we.
You're a clown. You just picked the Yankees to win the division. You're a Red Sox. I don't care if they were supposed to project to win 130 games.
Yeah, he picked the Yankees. He didn't say we are going to win the pennant. All right.
Unreal.
Oh, man.
World Series winner, Austen.
You break the mic again.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
Phillies.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it'd be good for the game. I got San Francisco Giants.
Wow.
Over the Baltimore Orioles. Again, I'm not as in love with them. I'm going with the Orioles just because I couldn't take the Yankees. I think the Orioles are in a weird spot. Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking about them. That's a tough thing. I think they might be another year away from being great. And so I'm not going to have them win the World Series. But it'll be fun as hell if the Orioles are in the World Series. I can get around on that. A lot of Orioles fans in this area, by the way. They should be pretty excited about their baseball team for the first time in a long time.
I mean, they should have been excited about them last year, hopefully.
Well, I mean, they got excited about them last year, right? I mean, that's when they got excited.
They made the name for them.
And now you should be really excited about where they're positioned and I mean, how you can really map it out with their talent. And on top of that, I think teams like the Orioles, they have good trade power if they really want to go somewhere else because their farm's good too.
Yeah, true.
They're loaded right there. All right, so we'll do some of the individual awards. We both I had Chicago White Sox as the worst team. You guys had Oakland A's as the worst team.
Let's just double check, make sure. Is everybody good with what we've got?
I think it's Twins, Mariners, Orioles, which means I have both wild card winners representing in the World Series. How about that?
That
Braves,
happens all
Reds,
the time.
Dodgers. Yeah, that's good by me.
I don't like the Reds, but okay. Sure, Brent.
Well, no, we're just checking that that's that what we said.
No, I know, but I just aesthetically, like looking at this whole list, the fact that Reds are making an appearance on this list, it just...
Which bothers you more, Reds or Cubs?
Oh, Reds all day. Because the Cubs, you can justify. They're going to be a good team, good management. I get all that. The Reds, come on, Brent. Brent, we've seen this story so many times.
We've got a variation in picks. I like this. There's a
are-
lot of ways to go. Would you do? I do think there are more teams that can represent each league than it feels like in a long time. Now, that started to transpire last year, too. I remember having a little bit of that conversation. But I'm not sure we have up and down parity throughout baseball. Baseball's been a very tough sport to get parity in, though. Mm-hmm. It's the haves and have-nots. And I think, like, you look at that, listen, the Red Sox aren't going to be awful. Like, they'll be able to beat some teams. I think the way the Central is built in both leagues could be almost wide open, really. You could go that far. There are two real contenders, and the Mets will spoil some things for people. I just don't think they're a true contender based on the way the Phillies and Braves are constructed.
Hold on, real quick. What about the Mets right now and their roster makes you think that they could spoil anything?
Well, I don't think they can spoil long term, but I don't think they're going to be an easy out, is my point.
You think they're better than the Marlins?
Yeah, I think the Marlins got very fortunate last year. Yeah, I think they. If you looked at the Marlins, how they ended up with the amount of wins they got versus like some of the metrics that played it out, it doesn't make sense. They ended up with like 84 wins.
I mean, they got a lot of good young players, man. Their rotation's not bad. And you look at I mean, who were I was laughing the other day. I looked up and Mets were trying out Jose Quintana, and I started laughing. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
Are you freaking serious?
I think the Mets will be better than people give it credit for. I think the J.D. Martinez signing might be a good signing for them, to be honest, in their lineup. And DJ Stewart actually is going to hold his spot down for a little bit. But go even the West. I mean, the Diamondbacks, nobody's going to give anything to. And they could be a threat.
I mean, even to the Padres.
And the Padres, too. You know, like sometimes subtraction helps. Take a little pressure off, right? With all those personalities, with all that play. Now, they lose Snell. It's hard to imagine them winning, but I think they're going to be tough.
Yeah.
So I think the league is – I think the Major League Baseball is set up a little bit more like football right now.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Braves, Dodgers – we'll say the Orioles and the Phillies. You taking them, one of those teams, as your World Series winner? Braves, Dodgers, Orioles, Phillies. Or are you taking the field? Oof. I mean, and once again, disregard our picks. I'm just saying, if you had to put the money on the line, you had to put that mortgage on the line here. Going down to the docks, talk to Johnny a little bit. What are you telling him?
I would take in I think most years against the top 3 teams, I would take the field. But if you're going to give me 4 and those specific teams, then I'm taking those 4.
Top 4 teams. Okay. Brent?
I'm usually a field guy here.
Yeah.
I mean, last year's a great indicator that you should take the field.
That's what I
right?
was getting at.
I mean,
yeah.
a lot of previous years are like, okay, I can tell you who's going to be in the World Series. But I think last year's a great indicator of what we're talking about here in the parity. And by the way, you didn't mention Houston,
Correct.
Seattle, Texas, Arizona. I mean, those are teams that actually were in the World Series and in the postseason. And you didn't mention the Yankees.
I was going to say, from a roster standpoint, the Yankees.
See, the thing I like about the Yankees, they're going to, if they get Garrett Cole back, they're not going to have to burn him early on. And they get the injury out of the way early. And as long as they hang in, which they will hang in, they might have him late to be able to do what they need to do, which you can make the case the most dominant guy in the league. So I'm talking myself into the field here, but that is a tough 4. I'll take the field. What the hell? Let's remember that.
Okay.
Let's throw that in the mix, all right, that I took the field. What would you take?
I'm taking the field as well.
Really?
I think I'm taking the field. Yeah.
Boy, the Dodgers and the Braves
I know.
alone and the Phillies are low. Like, the Orioles don't bother me in this conversation.
They don't. I just don't think they have the experience in terms of winning the big ones.
I'll take the field, but I think that's a hard pick. That's a really good question.
Could be a coin flip. I don't know. I don't know
So
what
Hamby
the
took
odds
the
would be.
top 4 teams. We took the field.